Let's set up a new game as Robert Bruce of Scotland. Um, it's I have played Scotland before, and it's been more than a couple of years since I've played Robert the Bruce, and I don't quite recall, but I did play the game. Usually, I mean, in the early days when I was learning the game, I was playing most games as like just ABC styles, um, kind of think of them as equals and not really always leveraging their unique abilities. Um, and I want to play this game and essentially try to use Robert Bruce's abilities and the Scottish abilities as best as possible and kind of maximize and see how the game evolves from that point. Um, so the Scottish uh, like ability or the thing that Scotland does well is the Scottish Enlightenment, which is if your cities are happy, then you get 5% extra science and production. And also, your campuses and industrial zones generate one extra point for the scientist and engineer. Um, Pretty powerful as long as you can keep your cities happy, which means amenities are paramount, which means making sure luxuries and a diversity of luxuries in your empire is very, very important. Um, the specific uh, Robert the Bruce ability is Bannockburn, which is he can declare a war of liberation after gaining defensive tactics, which happens earlier than available for most other civs, for other civs, and that gives you 100% production for 10 turns and plus 2 movements for those same turns, while the just right after declaring the war of liberation. Um, the movement can be situational, but the 100% production is actually pretty huge. If you have like a yeah, I mean, whatever your production is, I mean, doubling it for 10 turns can actually be very, very impactful. Which really means the way I'm thinking about this is you have city states on the map, or you have friends on the map who get attacked and lose cities. Regardless of whether you can actually liberate the cities or not, or free the cities, or what actually happens is less important than just the act of declaring a war of liberation. Just that is going to guarantee 100% production for 10 turns in all your cities. And that's huge. And that's pretty much the mechanic we want to play for. So the MO here is you want to declare whenever available to you, whenever you see an opportunity, you want to declare a war of liberation against your neighbors or anybody, even if the city state is far away and it's conquered, and you have no chance in at all to free it or to liberate it, but still declaring that war of liberation is actually very beneficial to Scotland. Um, the Highlander is a unique unit. It's a unique recon unit that replaces the Ranger. And honestly, I really don't think too much about it. I think it's a pretty sad unit. Um, it's like, I mean, as a recon unit, it's probably the best recon unit you can have. But typically, how many Rangers do you ever build? Hard build at all? I mean, usually you're upgrading into them, and even after that, you're instead of apart from like the like late game explorations, you're not really using it for much. So it's situational thing, plus 5% combat strength when fighting in hill and forest terrain. It's useful not so much in battle, but pretty much trying to keep it alive when it's exploring like barbarian lands is probably its best benefit. um, Besides that, I don't think it's going to play a very impactful role in this game, but we'll definitely build one at least for the Euroscore. The golf course is a very interesting tile improvement that Scotland builds. It's only one per city. Every city can build one can build only one and must build it whenever it's available. As soon as it's available to build, every city must build a golf course because it gives you two amenities. And the tile itself gives you two gold and one culture adjacency for the city center and the entertainment complex. So really, a placement formation like city center, golf course, and entertainment complex in a straight line, probably another golf course and entertainment city state next to it, or not cities, the another second city next to it, will be like a very powerful combination. You can build synergies in your tile placement, interdistrict placements, and the golf courses to create some very strong um, culture and gold. The one thing though, because I mean it's a tourism play. When you start putting down golf courses, you're going to generate tourism, and they are going to scale up. You'll get some housing, which actually helps. Uh, but really, like the moment you will be putting down golf courses, so late game, the Scotland will veer towards a more of a culture sort of a set situation. If you're building entertainment complexes, you'll probably have theater squares, and yeah, the play evolves from there. But besides the entertainment complex, the two main districts that Scotland needs to be building are the campuses and industrial zones. So, like, pretty much three pronged approach there. Every city should put down a campus first, probably an entertainment complex second, and an industrial zone third, and pretty much anything else that can follow. I don't expect this to be a religion game. Although, I mean, if we do see a spot worth settling for or worth putting down a holy site on, we will. And we'll probably have a few holy sites in the empire, but it will not be a priority. And religion is not going to be something that we are going to go for off the bat. If it happens, it happens. You know, like the England game where just by chance we weren't even trying for it and we landed up with a religion. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, no worries. Um, but here, I mean, it's a very balanced civ. You can sort of we will need a decent army actually. We cannot skimp up or ease up on what kind of an army we are building. We need to have some units probably on par with the AI or even more maybe, just to kind of keep check of what's going on. Definitely declare war of liberations whenever we can, and yeah, fight. Engage in combat whenever possible. Don't shy away from it. Don't try to be completely peaceful when there is no need to be. There are benefits to actually fighting for Scotland. Um, yeah, and besides that, I think in the early game, I think we should be going towards science more, making keeping sure our production in the cities is high, and possibly mid late game there might be a pivot to culture depending on how the map looks like, how cities look like, and what the overall position is. um, that's the game. As far as neighbors are concerned, we want to be as friendly as possible until they are up to shenanigans, and that's pretty much the thing. I don't want to have too many allies this game. One or two possibly is the max allies I want to have, because typically allies don't stop taking down city states that you are allied to. They can still do it, which gets annoying actually. Um, but yeah, but if you are allied to someone and they are taking down a city state, you can't declare a war of liberation on them. So in a very friendly game, when you have allies all over the map, yes, that will benefit you for a different play style, but it won't benefit you to declare war of liberations to get the 100% production in your cities. Um, yeah, it's going to be situational. It's going to be pretty much. I mean, we'll play the map, we will play the civs, and we will really play the land first to see what kind of play style we want to evolve into. But that's the basic rundown of what to look forward to with Scotland. As usual, dating game, standard speed, standard map. As far as map type is concerned, the last game with Japan was fun actually, and I want to use that same theme and improve on it. So I'm going to pick small continents, um, and okay, let's go to the advanced screen. Okay, I'm going to pick small continents, but I'm definitely picking low sea level. Um, Mainly because it gives you more land and it kind of creates these weird land masses that may not look like small continents anymore. But it can create a fun mix of land that can be a challenge as well as a blessing to deal with sometimes. I'm not going to be playing with barbarian clans this mode because if you followed through the last game as Japan, we realized how barbarian clans really makes the early game actually very easy, and it makes it easy to a point where after turn 120 you can just relax into a victory type that just makes the game easy overall. We are going to keep this off for this game, but because there are no barbarian clans modes and we have low sea level, I'm going to bump up the total city state count from 12 to 14. Just have two of them, two more on the map. So definitely two more. I was also considering, like last game, adding an extra AI player because there is more land on the map. But in the last game, what happened was it did appear like there was not enough land for the civs to expand into, and they pretty much got choked down or bogged down. So yeah, there were half the civs on the map really did not have too much land to operate on, and the other half had a lot of land, and but they never really settled into it or could kind of move into it, or couldn't go as wide as they could have gone based on that map. And this was with nine civilizations with these exact low sea level and small continent settings. The only difference there was we had started with six city states, but we had barbarian clans on. So, with 14 city states right off the bat, I'm expecting a large chunks of the map to be taken up by the city states, and they will control a lot of the land, which is why I'm hesitant to add a ninth AI civ. However, should we go for 16 instead? It will. Yeah, and I think let's keep it at 14. Let's keep it at 14 and 8 civs. So that should be more balanced. Um, the f- I'm tempted to play this combo: sparse resources and monopolies and corporations. Um, this was fun. So every time I've played monopolies and corporations in the last few, like whatever number of games, the resources have always been abundant, and with abundant resources, it creates these. It's hard. Actually, I think it's harder to make monopolies with abundant resources. But with sparse resources, it's not easier to make monopolies, but you need to plan for your cities and your expands, and even like any cities you want to conquer from the AI or from the city states. You need to plan a little bit more to actually make sure that happens. So I'm going to keep these two on in combo. It was fun. Let's see. I mean, if things look different in this game, or if the pattern that we saw in with Japan doesn't hold, we will go in a different direction next game. Um, I still want to keep the start position legendary. Um, just because I mean it makes the early game that little bit but easier. Getting stuff out a little better, easier, faster, and should be good. Um, Now, as Scotland, except so all we don't care about is deserts. I want as few deserts as possible. So the temperature can be standard, but I want to keep the rainfall wet. Um, okay. Now, definitely not playing barbarian clans or dramatic ages or apocalypse. Heroes and legends. I'm tempted to play with this mode. Yeah, let's just put it on. Um, yeah, what hero you get really matters, and some heroes can make or break your entire game. Um, but because one of the reasons I was really debating between keeping either Secret Societies on and Heroes and Legends on. And I think in the past couple of games, since we have played with Secret Societies, I think I want to flip that script a bit and play Heroes and Legends this time. We will keep Secret Societies off for now. Um, Besides that, that's it. And I think, yeah, this should be a good game. All right.